Hey, you still got time to join us for lunch. And don't forget about their daily half-pound lunch specials here at Wings. They start at just $7. They will have it on multiple televisions here at Wings, etc. And did you know that there are over 70 items on the Wings, etc. menu that are not wings? Especially their brand new burger lineup, their wraps, their salads, other favorites. And now you can order online if you'd like to taste the deliciousness that is Wings, etc., and you can get it delivered right to your door. Just use the DoorDash app, set up an account, and you can have it delivered right to your front door. It's the home of the Coaches Show. Good food, great times, Wings, etc. Let's welcome in Chris Harris. Chris, how are you? And, that was an interesting story that Coach said you were doing an internship at a bank. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's right up your alley in terms of your major, right?
Right, yeah. So I did my undergrad in business administration, and actually Coach Pickens and Aaron Patton at the Bank of Missouri came to me with the opportunity just to partner and kind of learn a little bit about the bank and kind of understand the bank on a different level. And they really they brought me in, and I kind of was able to see the bank from a managerial point of view and just kind of see how things are run. So it was a really cool experience, cool for me, and it was actually pretty crazy. Honestly, I had never done anything like that, so definitely blessed.
So what was it like on the other side? Because we all, obviously we've all been in the bank before. We're conducting business, or we're talking to a loan officer or something like that. What was it like to see how things operate on the other side?
It was pretty wild because, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the different requests that we get. So like you said, you come in and you want to do a loan. Well, there's different criteria that you have to meet personally and then that the bank has to meet in order to provide you with certain services. So it was pretty interesting to see how everything worked in the background and just to see how you fulfill the requests that different customers make.
How quickly did you want to go check out the vault?
Oh, it was immediate. I mean, I was working back there. That's where I was. And when they showed me the vault, I was like, wow, I can't believe, I'm back here with, money, basically.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do they, I had seen, it's movies, so you don't know how accurate that is, but a lot of times some of these vaults are on time locks, right, where they will lock it and you are unable to get it open until a certain time.
Right.
Was that, were there a vault like that?
Well, honestly, I'm an intern, so they didn't trust me with a lot of information. but yeah, I mean, there was locks and everything on there, locks on the doors and everywhere, so it was pretty secure.
All right, so you've already got your college degree. How cool is that?
It's very cool. Something that hasn't been done a lot in my family, so definitely something that's cool for me to do personally. So.
And when did you graduate?
Last year, so
okay.
Right after the season.
Right after the season was over. So how tough of a decision was it then to say, I've got my degree. Technically I could be done with school, but I still have basketball eligibility. How tough of a decision was that to say, hey, I want to go one more season and be a college athlete?
Well, honestly, not that tough at all. I mean, I had only got, I want to say 3 years to actually play because of my red shirt and everything. So coming back another year was always on my mind. And then we had just had I want to say a turnaround year for the program and everything like that, and I was a part of it, and we had Coach Corrin come in and build great relationships like that. So, it was a pretty easy decision to turn around and say, hey, I want to come back for another year.
Now, do you have a year of eligibility after this season?
I do.
Okay.
I do have another year.
Now, will that be a tough decision?
I don't think so. With the different culture that's been established here and with SEMO giving me so much in my personal life, giving me a degree and giving me a home. And this is where I can really feel myself going from, not to sound cliche, from a boy to a man, though, because I've spent so many years here. I've been here since right after John A. So it'll be 4 years that I spend at SEMO, after 2 years in college. So a total of 6 years in college at SEMO. SEMO's given me a lot. So.
Fantastic. And I know you and I have talked about it before. Before I came here to Cape in '97, I actually broadcast some John A. Logan men and women's basketball games over in Carterville. That's not a very big town, Carterville, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. But it's a good town. It's a good school. I love going to Logan, and it's good people.
Yeah, the Volunteers. So now, if I'm remembering this wrong. Let me know. Now, when you first suffered your knee injury, was it a partial tear of the ACL and then you got the surgery? For some reason, I'm thinking that you didn't completely tear it when you got injured.
Right,
Is that
yeah,
right?
You're correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got a partial tear. I waited a little while just to see if I could play on it or not. It turned out I wasn't fully comfortable playing on it. I decided to get the surgery and kind of get it repaired and get my knee back to almost 100%.
Okay, so do you remember the moment that you suffered the injury? Was it a non-contact thing? Take us through that.
Yeah, it was a non-contact injury. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was early morning practice. This was back when one of our teammates, Jordan Love, was here, and we were on the fast break, and I threw him an alley-oop. And when I came down, I was trying to turn around and look because I wanted to see him dunk it, But when I came down, I had accidentally hyperextended my knee. And when it kind of went back, that's when I kind of felt a little pain like in the center of my knee. And I kept practicing, kept going up and down, but something just felt wrong. And at the time, our athletic trainer, Amanda Martin, she just told me to sit out and we're just going to take a look at it. And eventually we got all that stuff sorted out with the doctor and the surgeon and everything after that.
And you had to get an MRI. I bet getting MRIs are no fun, are they?
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. It was, I actually think I fell asleep when I got mine. That's how. But yeah, no, it was a different experience. My brother had went through something similar. He actually tore his whole ACL completely, so he had a full reconstruction. So, I always say it was one of my biggest fears having that happen to me because my older brother, he's my role model, and seeing that happen to him, it crushed him. So I was always scared of it happening. But I feel like in the end, I came out better because, I'm not really taking basketball for granted. I'm really understanding, how lucky I am and how small of a chance it is for me to get to do certain things that I'm doing. So definitely just blessed to be where I'm at.
Boy, it seems like it would be a valuable resource to have a brother that went through that to kind of tell you just exactly what you can expect.
Right, yeah. And he was, he was always saying his was even worse than mine. He's like, so you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. I'd be worried about, okay, well, I can't bend my knee. It's been like a month or 2 months. He's like, it's fine. Just keep working. It'll come back. It really is really reassuring just to have somebody that you talk to, almost on a daily basis that have gone through something similar to you.
And I know when they're stretching, you're trying to get all your range of motion back, and sometimes you may hear something pop, that scar tissue.
Mm-hmm.
That has to play with your head just a little bit because you hear something pop. You go, well, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A bunch of rehab and everything going into that. It was kind of scary at first, but like I said, having my brother there and telling me, he's like, yeah, it's gonna hurt. There's gonna be stuff that happens. It's like, it's how you come back from it. And his biggest thing to me was, when I come back, don't think about it at all. Don't play as if I was injured. Play like I've been playing for years. Don't think about it because that's gonna hold back your game and hold back your physical ability as well.
Boy, that's I've talked to a lot of athletes who have gone through major surgeries like that, and an ACL is a major surgery, and it's the whole psychological hurdle, man. Just trusting it, knowing that if you're gonna make a cut, you're not gonna tear your ACL again,
yeah,
right?
For sure. Yeah, it is a psychological hurdle, but my teammates were good. Coach Korn was good. Everybody was good when I was coming back, giving me the appropriate time I needed. So it was pretty easy to come back. I won't say it was easy, but it was. They gave me an easy environment to come back in.
Boy, and I think different medical personnel are, they have different philosophies on this kind of thing. I mean, back in the day, somebody would come back. They always had one of those big, heavy, cumbersome knee braces when they'd come back from an injury. I know there are a lot of surgeons and doctors now, they say do not use a knee brace. Maybe, some people would wear a sleeve. Where did your doctor fall on that, and did you have to wear a brace at all?
So at first, when I first came back, I think Coach Korn probably remembers, when I first came back, I had a pretty big brace on my knee, and I was moving kind of weird. It was kind of different because, like you said, they are big, they are heavy. And my surgeon had always told me, because this was one of my fears coming back, was, okay, I'm going to have to wear a brace and stuff. And we talked through that before, and he was like, well, if you're healthy, if you go to the rehab right and you're strong enough, you might not have to wear a brace. So I think it was like a month and a half, 2 months after I was back practicing, I started to feel good. I took the brace off, and, it was pretty easy to move after that, and I felt pretty good ever since, honestly.
Yeah, well, you probably felt, how encumbering did it feel, like wearing a knee brace? I know Carrie Shepard, one of the SEMO women's players from a few years ago, she had torn her ACL, and she was wearing the brace when she came back, and you could physically see she was not. I mean, she didn't have the same quickness and everything. Once that knee brace was gone, she looked like the old Carrie Shepard.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, basketball, you want to move freely, and you want to be able to, make split decisions. And when you have a brace on your knee, it's not just you that you have to take into account when you're moving and stuff like that. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. But like you said, once you get it off, you're back to moving.
Now, wasn't it Fort Wayne that you hit the buzzer beater against?
It was.
Yeah.
It was Fort Wayne. Yeah.
All right. Well, Fort Wayne's coming up on the schedule. You've done that a few times for the Red Hawks, including in Texas. Take us through that final play where you beat the buzzer to beat Incarnate Word, and what Coach Korn said in the huddle before you guys went out there and ran that final play.
It's actually funny because what Coach Korn said right before we went out there was the only thing I was thinking when I got the ball. He was like, he drew up the play, told us kind of how to run it, where to look for, and then he said, whoever gets the ball, you'll have one dribble, and then you got to put it up. So he's like, one pass, I think, and one dribble, and then you got to shoot it. And when I got the ball, I was like, well, Nana grabbed it. He passed it to me. That's one pass. I got one dribble, and I got to put it up, and that's all I was thinking. And next thing you know, it just sank for us, and it was a good play for all of us because everybody was involved, and it was what we needed to get back on the same page and just feel like a team again and be back together. So
did you know as soon as it left your fingers it was going in?
I did. I felt pretty good about the shot, and what makes it even better is that if you replay the video and you look at when I take the shot, you can see everybody wearing any type of SEMO gear was standing up like they already knew it was going in as well, and that's what really felt great about it. Obviously, hitting the shot was good, but when we went back later and we went back through the film and we saw how invested my team was into me and how confident they were in me, it really made you feel good. Like I said, the shot's good and everything's fun like that, but having a group of guys behind you like that is a different feeling.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but on ESPN Plus, a camera guy missed it.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm broadcasting the game remotely, so I didn't go on the Texas trip. So I'm broadcasting the game, and they're slow on the camera, and I saw it leave your hand. I never saw Nana on the play. I didn't know it was the Bryce Drew, catch and pass. So I, until I got a different angle later. Mm-hmm. I never even saw it, except I just saw it leave your fingertips, but I didn't know what happened until then.
Yeah, so I think Dylan Branson threw the ball in, a beautiful pass to Nana, and Nana went up and caught it like a receiver. And then I was running on the wing, and Nana found me on the wing and just took one dribble and put it up. It was great execution by the whole team, and everybody played a part in the whole game, but that play especially.
It's a real mindset for guys who take last shots like that, because there are some guys, they don't want to take that shot.
Right, yeah, most definitely. And that's something, like, again, my brother always told me and my dad always told me, it's if you have the ball and you have to take the shot, you might as well make it the best shot you can take because it's going to be the last shot. So if you do that and you have the confidence of the work that you already put in, I feel like there's no reason that you should be scared to take the shot or really have any second thoughts because, you've done it 1,000 times. The worst thing that can happen is it not to go in.
All right. What are your thoughts on playing Evansville here on Wednesday? You guys owe them. They got you in overtime last year. I mean, heck, 3 of your first 5 games last year were overtime games. But you little payback on Wednesday?
Yeah, we definitely want to get some payback. But like Coach said, it's more about us and making sure we're on the right path to where we want to be at the end of the year. And we need to start. This is the time of the year that we need to start turning the corner and being able to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So I think payback's definitely on our mind, but we want to make sure we're right as a unit and right as a team too.
Be a solid win too over a team from the Missouri Valley Conference. Always good to catch up with you, Chris. Thanks so much for squeezing us in today, and we'll see you at the Show Me Center on Wednesday.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thank you for having me.
All right, Chris Harris. We'll talk a little bit about the Evansville Purple Aces with Coach Brad Korn when we come back for a final segment here. It's the Red Hawks Coaches Show on SEMO ESPN. Location of Wings Etc. today. We'll be back in the Cape Girardeau location next week. Hope you can join us then. Make plans to have lunch with us at Wings Etc. And if you can't make it, did you know that you can get Wings Etc. delivered wherever you are? That's right. Just download the DoorDash app, set up your account, and you can have that delicious Wings Etc. menu delivered right to your front door. It's Wings Etc. Good food and great times. Final segment here with Coach Brad Korn. Evansville is your opponent on Wednesday, team from the Missouri Valley Conference. They played a few close games. They edged SIU there. Really looked like it was a really good game, 54-52. They beat Tennessee Tech last time out for their last game. Your thoughts on Evansville, a team that, you had that rash of overtime games early on in the season last year. I know they hit a couple of free throws late to send it into overtime. I think you were up 6 with just under 3 minutes to play. They end up, tying it. You took a quick lead in overtime, but they end up winning the game.
Yeah, Givens hit a layup at the end there to give them the lead, really with, I think it was 1 or 2 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, in overtime. So it just was another one of those heartbreaking losses that we'd seemed to have early in the year last year. But, again, we took the game. One, it's close proximity-wise. You're talking 2.5 hours away. Again, but our conference tournament being in Evansville, wanted to get our team in that venue, in that environment. So when we went back there and it became a staple that we are a part of the OVC postseason tournament, conference tournament. So that was really the gist of that game. But it makes a lot of sense for us to play. Anytime you can play Missouri Valley School, it only helps strengthen our net and RPI, all those numbers and everything like that. So it's just a good regional game. Coach Licklider does a great job with his guys. Been around the block a few times, so they really run a good offense, a lot of ball screen spacing. Their scores have been kind of up and down a little bit.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. So it's, just like anything, just like everybody's going through certain things at different times, hot, cold shooting type of a deal. But obviously a coach of his caliber that's been around and coached as many games as he has, they're going to be well prepared. And it's good for us to finish off the non-con at home the right way. We need to come out with a bunch of energy and really, for us, looking at it too, is an opportunity to go 2-0 against the Missouri Valley Conference, and then we finish up with SIU. So we get 3 Missouri Valley Conference opponents on our schedule. They actually will be their 3rd OVC game. They're playing 5 OVC schools this year. They've already played Belmont. They've already played Eastern, Tennessee Tech, as you mentioned, us. They got Martin, and I think one more game coming up.
They got throttled pretty good at Belmont. Everybody gets throttled at Belmont, although you didn't.
We did not. We actually had a 2-point game under the 4-minute timeout. And again, but just like Belmont, though, it's and Chris didn't play in that game. He had a wrist injury, and with Belmont, you have to you don't have to play perfect, but you have to play an A basketball game. And we missed a layup, and then they come down. We had our hands down. They hit a 3, and they go up 5. Now they go up 7, and then now it's
free throws,
too late.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
So with Evansville, what concerns you the most about the Aces?
What concerns me the most is they do a good job of moving the basketball. They do a lot of what we call ghost screens, where if you have the basketball, I come run up, act like I'm screening for you, then I get out of the way, like I disappear like a ghost. So that really confuses people on switches, and are you going to switch it, are you not going to switch it? Their 5-man doesn't really post up. He'll shoot threes. So it's more of a spaced out game. Then you've got Givens. If you do switch it, now he's beating you downhill. Now you're in rotations. Now they're throwing the ball out. So there's a lot of factors that can go into just the way that they play and move the basketball on offense. To if we're not hooked up and engaged, it can cause some problems. So that scares me a little bit. And then, quite honestly, Eric, just their pace. When you got a team that scores 91 game, and then 50 another game, and then they've won a game 59-51. SIU they won or lost. I'm sorry, but by 2. But that game was 54-52. So it's like that worries you just because it's like. Just like I'm sure it worries them, it's like which team of theirs is going to show up. And so if now you've got the team that's scoring 90 points a game shows up, then obviously that scares you. But when you're a coach, everything scares you.
That's exactly right. And we again want to make sure everybody knows that it's a special game on Wednesday. Santa Claus will be there so the kids can get their pictures taken with Santa on the SEMO Redhawks inflatable couch. And we are asking you to bring a new stuffed animal, which will be tossed onto the court during halftime. Hey, they always tell you don't throw anything on the court. Well, you can throw it on the court for this game. Bring a new stuffed animal to the game. It's the Happy Slapowitz Teddy Bear Toss at halftime, and all of the stuffed animals collected will be donated Toys for Tots, and that's an outstanding thing that the Marine Corps League does every year with the Toys for Tots. My dad was a Marine. I remember when I was a kid, and he'd bring home the Toys for Tots box. So final thoughts on getting ready here for Evansville, and I know when you leave here, you're going right to practice, right?
Yep, right to practice. As I said, we'll jump into a little bit of the Webster. We've got some clips to show from that last game of where we can get better, and then we'll show a little bit of Evansville personnel and just to get our guys familiar with them. And then we got to hit the court and get after it and get better at what we need to get better at. And I think we can. I know that we're. Chris mentioned it. You want to turn the corner, I think he said, or get to the other side. And I think we're right about at that point to where we can get back locked in and hooked into who we really can be, because I don't think that we've done what we can to this point yet with this team, and so it's not, the expectation isn't so high that you can't get there and you're just always disappointed. But I think that we can play better basketball, and I think we will. I think we've got the right locker room of guys, and it's just every year is different, every team is different, every week is different, and so it's just getting through that. And getting to the other side, and when you've got a good group of guys, which we do, we can get there, and I think we will.
And getting healthy as well. Coach, Thanks so much for the time. We'll see you over at the Show Me Center.
You got it, Eric. Thank you.
That is Coach Brad Korn, and that will do it for the Red Hawks Coaches Show. Thanks to Chris Harris, who joined us. It's always good when we have one player on the show. They always have a good game, so expect Chris Harris to have a really good game against the Evansville Purple Aces. That's a 6:30 tip-off, by the way, on Wednesday, and bring your stuffed animal. So thanks to Rachel Cook, Ethan Chow helping us on site here, Eric Shawn getting you back into ESPN programming. So long, everybody, from the Red Hawks Coaches Show at Wings.
SEMO ESPN 1220 and 93.5 FM.